All right, you guys, so just like every haircut you do, you want to make sure, regardless if it's combed, regardless if it's laying in the right place, you want to make sure you do your own due diligence and comb the hair out first. Lay that hair in place in the direction that, you know, lays best for when you start cutting. So if you're just starting out cutting hair, if you're a beginner, I would suggest taking out some of the bulk that's on the side first, meaning using a 1.5 guard, just clearing out some of that bulk that's on the side. That way setting your guidelines will be easier. But if you're an experienced barber and you want to, you know, dive right in and you know, save time, I would do what I'm doing right now. I got my Babyliss FX trimmers and I'm just setting in my guideline, taking off all of the bulk all at once. Now, the reason why you would do this as a beginner is because it's easier to just clear out the bulk first and just, you know, setting your guideline. That way everything can become visible. All right. But if you know what you're doing, you could cut out all of that extra step and just set in your bald line. That's why I'm doing this right now. This is pretty much me being experienced, knowing that I got a client that's coming in about 30 minutes and I need to, you know, hurry up on this film and actually get this job done at a fast pace to where, you know what I mean, I'm not taking extra steps. So that's what I'm doing right now, just clearing out the bottom of the bulk, going upward, basically not going downward, because you don't want to irritate your client's skin. And a lot of times using the trimmer isn't really necessary when you're doing these type of, you know, basic fades. This really is just a drop fade. It's nothing special to it that you're adding curves. So you can actually use your clippers with the lever fully closed if you have your clippers zero gapped to set this in. I just like using my trimmers because they're small and it's just easier to maneuver around the ear and take off bulk. So next, I'm gonna take my 1 guard using my Andis Masters with the lever open, and I'm clearing out all of the bulk that's on the sides next, right? So I'm gonna use my comb and just feed the hair into the teeth of the blade, and basically I'm just stopping right where I want to stop, right around that corner, because I actually want to build shape as well. I also want to set in my guidelines, but my main reason for, you know, going up and scooping out and setting this guideline is to build shape at the top. All right, is to ultimately blend into that look, because I'm not gonna just, you know, take out the line that you see right here completely. I really want to blend into it. All right, you guys gonna see later how I do this. So I really want you guys to pay attention to how I'm taking off this bulk. I'm not just taking out everything from that vertical bar. I'm actually leaving some hair there. That way it has that curvature that I want. All right. Like I said, I'm going to blend into that. I'm still going to leave that line at the top just for style purposes. So next, I'm gonna use my clipper over comb technique. I'm gonna set my comb at a 45-degree angle and basically add shape to the top of the bulk. I'm gonna go up and down motion to blend that one into the bulk. But it's all about just building shape at this point. So don't be afraid to go upward into the bulk. That way, you know, like I said, you're blending that one guard into that bulk. So also, you don't have to close the lever, all right? To make it a little softer, have the lever open, because you'll end up taking off too much closing that lever. So now that we have the bulk removed, we have the shape that we want. Now it's time to basically set in guidelines and blend into the bulk. All right. So right now, got my Endless Masters with the lever all the way open, and I'm going up about a 1/2 inch. All right. I'm making sure that I go over the guideline multiple times to ensure that it's at that length.
HustleDreamProduction.
So I like making these full length tutorials, especially for students out there that really need help on fading and they want to follow along. All right, this is a perfect opportunity to put this video on and just follow along as you do the cut yourself. So yeah, this is why I do the full length. All right, so people can get a clear understanding of how this blend works. All right, because a lot of you out there are afraid to set in your guidelines this wide, and really if you would just set in your guidelines a little wider, the blend will come out, you know, more stretched. So just because you use the one guard and knocked off all of the bulk and blend into it, that doesn't mean that you don't go back and still follow the steps. All right, now I got my one guard with the lever open and I'm going up, still feeding the hair into the teeth of the blade, really just making sure that everything is at that length. Don't be afraid to take those baby steps either, right? Like I'm going back with my one guard, and as you can see, it's blending into that bulk, and there's gonna be a line at the top, but don't focus on that. All right, I'm gonna use that bulk that's there, all right, for style purposes. So you can see I'm still using my one guard, going up in that same shape that I created, and just making sure that it's all down to that length. So I usually take baby steps and work my way back down by softening up that middle line with my one guard with the lever fully closed. But with this guard, with the zero and this guard, I don't really have to do that. So I'm using my zero guard with the lever fully closed. And in flick out motion, I'm flicking out that middle line. All right. With this guard, it is a lot easier for you to take out that middle line. Sometimes you're gonna have to be even careful of closing it and then leaving it closed like that. Sometimes I have to open it, soften it up, close it fully, and just kind of get that middle line out gradually. So you want to make sure that if you do have these guards, you don't have to take those baby steps with the zero guard. All right. If you have different guards, make sure you take those baby steps. Make a video on this, being that I'm using that zero guard right now. The difference between the Stylecraft zero guard versus the Andis zero guard, because I think it's very interesting on how with the Stylecraft zero guard, I have to kind of take those baby steps. I'm just now thinking about it like, man, this will be a very interesting video to compare blends, you know what I mean, with guard systems, the difference between Andis, Wall, and Stylecraft. If you guys want me to make that video, comment down in the comment section below. So lastly, as far as taking out these guidelines, is the bald line at the bottom with your lever fully closed. Now pay attention to how I'm not leaving that C-cup area. Pay attention to how I'm taking out this bald line. All right, I'm removing the C-cup this way, and I'm not starting below the line to where we'll add a C-cup. So I'm going right through that, making sure I take out that bottom line. That way I could keep that shape that at the top that I'm talking about, that little curvature shape. I'm gonna keep that fluently all the way through. And you might be thinking, well, why you didn't just set the bald line in that way? If I would have did that, I would have had to have taken the blend higher on that corner. So this is the reason why I set it low. That way I could take it out and blend into it rather than blend from it.
HustleDreamProduction.
detailing. All right, detailing is extremely important. This separates you from just being an average barber. All right, how well you can detail, it makes all the difference. All right, so what I like to do is I like to refer to the mirror. The mirror shows you a different perspective on the blend than just seeing it head on. All right, you get your eyes so locked into the blend that it just becomes a blur. So the mirror, it just really gives you another alternative, a different way of seeing the blend. Also, don't have access to a mirror, I like to rest my eyes, come back to the blend. You'll end up seeing new things in your blend that you didn't see when you were just, setting your guidelines in, taking them out. I like to use my corners, go in those areas where I see bulk, and use them as thinning shears. If you guys finding this information useful, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. I love making this kind of content for you guys. I've been doing this for a while now, so it's just become a part of my life. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that's been watching me for years. Shout out to the ones that's new. Shout out to the beginners. Shout out to experienced. Shout out to everybody for sticking through. Appreciate it. When it comes to fading the beard, the only difference is you're blending downward, all right? So I already got the bald line up at the top. So my next step is with the lever fully open. I'm basically setting a guideline about 1 inch, and then I'm working my way up and basically setting the lever to the middle and then closing the lever at the top. All right, that's going to get you that fade effect that you're looking for. Next guideline is the 1 guard with the lever open, and then you go at the top and close the lever to soften up that line. Now that the line is softened up, I'm going right to that middle line, and with the lever fully closed on that 0 guard, I'm just flicking out that line. All right, the same way I did the top is how I do the bottom. The only difference is I'm working backwards. Now I'm just detailing. All right, I'm getting out everything that those guards couldn't get, looking at what I'm doing and just kind of knocking out those areas where I see bulk. So I like to prep my front line by spraying some hairspray just to lock the hair down to where when I line it up, everything will not move. Also, I like to run my comb, making sure that everything is laid in the right position. Then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna blow dry to lock everything in place. So even if everything is stiff, I still want to run my comb through it, so it won't be, sticky. So right now, I'm going to start right in the middle and then go outward. You never want to start corner to corner because the chances of the line being uneven is greater than if you would just start in the middle. So to all my students out there, all the beginners, you want to stay away from enhancements as much as possible. Hone in on your craft first, and then once you're, good at doing the basics, then you can start using enhancements. All right, enhancements is basically for what it is, all right, to enhance the haircut. And if you're just adding enhancements on a bad haircut, it's not gonna really enhance the cut, all right? So when it comes to what enhancements that I use Kiss Express Black, and also the mix is 50 Kiss and 50% alcohol. All right, so whatever amount that you put in Kiss is the amount that you use for alcohol. That's my mix. And yeah, so with this Barber pencil, I like to add contrast. Basically, it gives a nice pop along with the enhancement. So I just draw it on basically and then razor it at the end. So, man, I remember being so scared to razor somebody. I didn't know the angle that, that I needed to really commit to really putting a blade on somebody's skin and dragging it, right? But as you do it, you get more and more comfortable with how it works, all right? Really, it's about committing to dragging that blade across the skin, all right? It's not about digging in. It's just really gliding that blade across the skin, making sure that you stretch the skin. As you can see with my thumb, I'm stretching the skin and I'm just gliding that blade down, all right? You'll get faster and faster the more you do it, all right? This isn't something that you're just gonna naturally just pick up and just be super dope at it, all right? Everything takes time, all right? Allow yourself to get better. Allow yourself for room for growth. This isn't a race, all right? I wasn't good all the time, you know what I mean? I was whack at first, all right? It took years to get good like this. And back when I was doing it, there really was no tutorials. YouTube wasn't really out for anybody to learn. So there's a lot of information out here so you guys could get better way faster, all right? So just commit to it and just be patient.
HustleDreamProduction.
So I'm gonna put styling powder in my client's hair. This makes the hair stiff, and basically you can move it wherever you want to move it. All right, I could use a comb, I could use a tool, just so he has like a texture on top. All right, I'm gonna use my comb and basically make like this pattern with the comb, and just, you know, have fun with it. Listen, let me tell you why they call me 360. When they sit in my chair, I spin them in a full 360, and they come out looking like
God did.
YouTube. This is the cut, and if you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also, Hustle Dreams Production, that's my brother. He does all my beats. His YouTube channel will be linked in the description below. Make sure you guys go give him a follow. Also, if you wanted to know where you can find any tools that you've seen in this video, links will be in the description below. Otherwise, you guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. My TikTok is official360Jeezy, and my Instagram is 360Jeezy. But it's your boy 360Jeezy, and I'm out of here. Chit.